Well, better late than never, but here's my new moon tree of life reading for you all. So, the main message for humanity, the main thing that is coming through, is the whole concept of justice. And the idea is that it is not justice to claim that there must always be justice. This is really the message, because the thing that needs to change is our thought forms. All queens are thoughts. Queen of Pentacles is our thinking around things need to change. If everybody who, if somebody has something that someone doesn't have and they say, oh, that's not fair, and we don't allow the evolution of humanity because of that, that is not justice. Injustice promotes growth. So the very nature of justice itself is a propulsion tool for humanity to grow. But we have to get out of the mindset that everything must be quote unquote fair, that injustice is actually growth. And let me explain a little bit of that. If you think back to like when women were just coming around to being able to vote, if the women before them had said, wow, it's not fair, I didn't get to vote, why should they? That's not fair. But so through the nature of getting justice, we sometimes feel an injustice, but we have to get over that kind of thinking and recognizing that our each individual experiences are not necessarily always quote unquote fair, but they are necessary for the contextual experience. And now the tools in order to change this. So on the cup side, the way that we need to change that is through community. We have to be able to look at each other and respect each other's differences. And also we need to be able to set targets and goals, but not get caught up with expectations. We don't want illusions of grandeur. We cannot have an idea of what the future could look like, should look like. We just have to be in the evolution process itself. And then also the 8, this is the willingness to walk away. This is specifically walk away from what works for you and start doing what serves you. More importantly, stop doing what works for humanity, start doing what serves humanity, and that is where humanity is going to start to shift from the kingdom of me to the kingdom of we. On the sword side, what needs to really happen is we need to start respecting the pulse, the will of the soul. We need to start asking everything. Does this serve? Does this choice serve? Does this thought serve? Does this action serve who I truly am? And also having the thought forms that really go with that. There needs to be a congruency of body and being and thoughts and feelings. And this is putting an end to the things that were birthed that no longer serve us. Again, big message today is do what serves you, not what works for you, and getting out of the idea that things have to quote unquote look fair, because we are all here as great cosmic mirrors for one another. And sometimes that is just to create context. It's not about fairness. It's about the experience and looking past that, not getting caught up in the story, being in the story but not of it. What comes to fruition? The actual expression of the soul manifest, unencumbered, and a true knowing and understanding of the golden tapestry. This is the being in the world but not of it, living your life purpose, your soul path together. I pulled some clarifying cards too. So at the very top, this card is that there is so much abundance of possibility that Spirit is giving to us through the Ace of Cups. That is like the one little wafer going into the water causes it all to overflow. But it's up to us to direct that flow where we want it to go with what we want to create in this world. Down here, giving clarifying cards for this Queen of Pentacles, we are birthing a new reality. That's the Hangman. The Devil is about breaking free of judgments. And also taking accountability, like not, no, the devil made me do it. It's like, no, this is where I'm at. I'm going to honor that, and I'm going to start to choose differently. And I'm going to do all that through balance and creating something new. Our clarifying card over here for the community is the Emperor, which is the outer vision, but specifically not through the lenses that we were taught to look through. Look at the world for the raw data that is showing up, and not through the lenses of projection, of expectation, of judgment, and conclusion. And our final clarifying card on the other one is the Lovers. Now, the old meaning of Lover card had nothing to do with romance. It had to do with what path are you going to pick. You know, the original card was an adolescent between his mother and his father, right? It then got evolved, but it was really about choosing the path of the initiate or the path of, like, you know, the householder, if you will. So do you want to just be here in the world having an experience, or do you want to do that internal work to have an experience where you're manifesting divinity on the physical plane as someone who is fully conscious, awake, and embodied? So there you have your new moon tree life reading.